Hi everyone.
Hello, good evening.
Hey, it's 8 o'clock and it's Friday once again. We are here with you um, on this learning journey to learn about all about how to use technology in urban farming, particularly home farming actually, because we are all planting edibles at home and there are a lot of challenges. Last week, we went through the germination process all the way up to harvesting. And this is like a 1-2 punch, as I was saying. So after you have germinated your plants and they are growing well in the hydroponic system, there comes a time when you need to change the nutrient solution. So how do you do that? So once again, welcome. We see a lot of familiar names and faces. Thank you once again for joining us. Maybe we wait 30 seconds more. I think some people are still joining in. We wait 30 seconds to see
Yeah.
whether you let them come in first so that they won't miss the first part of the webinar. And I think a lot of you are actually looking forward to this weekend, right? It's the National Day, belated National Day weekend. We're going to have the National Day parade. Is that happening, right? Over the weekend. So everybody is staying home to watch.
Yeah.
And there are some lucky few who can get to watch. I'm not keeping the latest news. I think those there are a few who have been. There are some like 1,000 or how many people who have been invited to watch them live. Right, watch the parade live. Yes. Oh, Emily. Hi, Emily. So at OTH, there's also going to be a concert on Saturday night, starting from 8 p.m. And only certain people get tickets. For those who didn't get tickets, you can watch online on Facebook or whichever avenue. Just check out the social media to find out how. So now we have a bit more participants. Maybe we wait. Are we ready, Chris?
Yep.
Any?
Ready when you are.
All right. Uh, can everybody hear Chris well?
Yep. Can you hear me well?
Perfect.
All right.
Cool, cool. Okay. Over to you, Chris. Anytime you're ready.
All right. Yep. Good evening, everybody. So this is our fifth installment of the series, webinar series. So this is nutrient solutions, how to mix and how to top up. So this is not the season finale yet. So we have a couple of more in the next few weeks. So this is the runner-up from the poll. So the winner was the growth cycle. So this is the runner-up. So nutrient solution. So I believe most of the attendees are from the OTH hydroponics test pilot group. So I think by this time you have received your kits and you have started to run your systems or your kits. So I've seen some questions already on the Facebook group. So if you have questions on that, just join the Facebook group later on. I'm going to send some details of how to join on that Facebook group and ask questions. So we will try our best to answer those questions. Okay, so let's move on. So this topic now is hydroponic nutrients, how to mix and top up. Okay, so let's start off by defining a hydroponic nutrient solution. So a hydroponic nutrient solution is a liquid, yep, filled with the necessary nutrients to sustain plant growth on a hydroponic system. So we are concerned about plant growth. So what does the plant need to grow? Yeah, it's nutrients. So there's no fixed formula for these solutions. So there's not a specific mix that is a standard. So it comes in different forms. So it comes in different mixes. So you will see normally for your soil fertilizer, NPK, you have the number. So those are the percentage of your NPKs. So in hydroponics, it's similar. So there are percentage of nutrients on your nutrient solutions. So it's depending on the type of plant, growth phase, weather. It's if it's a hot season, if it's a cold season, rainy, and so on. So let's continue on defining or discussing what are those nutrients that is essential for plant growth on a hydroponic system. So let's do the basic nutrients first. Let's discuss this cycle. Respiration, absorb moisture, photosynthesize, repeat. So day in and day out, plants do this. They respire, they absorb moisture, they photosynthesize, and they do it all over again. Photosynthesize only happens when there's light, sunlight, artificial light. Respiration happens every, day in, day out. So it happens even at nighttime. It happens every time. So this is this diagram that you see here is an energy cycle. So from the photosynthesis of plants, so how photosynthesis converts glucose to cellular respiration. So meaning how this glucose converted into proteins into energy is transported throughout the plant, and finally back to photosynthesis. So the basic elements on this diagram you can already see. So it's already available in air and water. So it's oxygen, carbon, and hydrogen. So this alone will help your plants germinate and grow roots and leaf systems. However, without the nutrients, it will not develop properly. So in the start germination process, it's only air and water. That's all. It will germinate, right? So that's why you will see that. Hey, I keep on the previous during the growth cycle, during the previous webinars. I always tell that germinate your seeds only on water. Your nutrient solutions comes after in batches or in different strengths. Mm. Okay, so let's talk about macronutrients. So macronutrients are nutrients that get absorbed in large quantities. So large quantities, these are like the main nutrients that are constantly absorbed by plants. Okay, so let's go back to that diagram, the energy cycle that I've shown on the previous slide. Okay, so let's go one by one. So now you see letters there, the N, the P, and the K. So how important is that during this parts or phases in the energy cycle? So one of the macronutrients, nitrogen. So nitrogen is required to produce chlorophyll. So chlorophyll is that green pigment that you see on plants. And not only plants, but even algae, fungi. So you will see a pigment, green pigment on it. So that pigment is what's responsible for your photosynthesis. So it produces nucleic acids and the enzymes essential to synthesize amino acids or proteins. So that's why you will see here on this part that, yep, the nitrogen, this helps on synthesizing proteins to go to cellular respiration. So now we go to phosphorus, so this P. So phosphorus helps in transformation of this energy to chemical energy and transporting it throughout the plant. So the plant is a complex system. It's a multi-celled organism. So to move those energy from plant to plant, you will see this ATP. What's this ATP? It's adenosine triphosphate. So triphosphate. So there's phosphorus on it. So adenosine triphosphate, not only on plants, even on uh, animals, even on us, people, we have this. This is how proteins are transported cell to cell. So it's similar to plants. Okay? So phosphorus is important for energy transfer. Potassium. So potassium regulates enzyme activation, photosynthesis, the water use, and protein synthesis. So sounds familiar, right? So potassium has the same effect on our body. Yep. So it helps regulate our muscle movements. So in particular, like involuntary muscles, our heart muscles. So it helps regulates it. So that's why potassium is also important for us or for our body. So equally, it's very important for plants because it does the same regulation of these enzymes. Mhm. Okay. So, so during respiration, you will see that why is H2O produced during respiration, right? And CO2. So plants not only produces oxygen, they also produce CO2 through respiration. So respiration is a way for the plants to regulate its temperature, its metabolism. So like if it's very hot, so it will try to produce H2O or water droplets on its leaves so that it will try to regulate that temperature, bring it down, just like how our body perspire. So it's the same for plants. So on this process, it produces CO2. So also in cold environments, the plants regulate it and it produces H2O as well. That's why you will see that why is there a frost burn on plants? It's not that like it's not freezing cold, it's not snowing, but you can see some frost, especially on those mountainous areas, because plants tend to um, put in or put out H2O or water droplets on its leaves so that it can protect from frost burn. So that's why you will see H2O and CO2. Okay, so let's continue a bit about macronutrients. So not only the NPK, NPK, very popular, everybody knows it. But the intermediates, I don't think that everybody knows the intermediaries or the rest of the macronutrients or what's absorbed in large quantities. So it's just like Superman's alter ego. Clark Kent is NPK. So you will always see Clark Kent. But Superman, sometimes you don't know who is. So it's sulfur, calcium, and magnesium, right? So that's our intermediate macronutrients. They're also super in a way because sulfur is essential for the synthesis of amino acids. When you say amino acids, it's always protein production and nitrogen use efficiency. So remember that plants consume nitrogen in large amounts. It's like people eat in large amounts. So some element or some mechanism of um, regulation needs to be there. So and otherwise, our consumption will not be very efficient. So it's the same for plants. So sulfur, it it regulates or it assures the efficient use of nitrogen. So calcium. So calcium, just like our body, it help builds our bones structure. So for plants, it's cell wall structure because plants doesn't have bones. So it's utilized in continuous cell division. So if you have continuous cell division, you'll see that your plants are growing quite fast. Yeah. So the formation of the stalk, the roots, the leaves will be very fast if your calcium is well fed to your plants. Magnesium. So magnesium is the central atom of the chlorophyll. Chlorophyll, very important because it's the part of the plant, the pigment is um, um, which does the photosynthesis. So this chlorophyll molecule is essential for photosynthesis and cell respiration. So it does both. So it photosynthesizes, producing oxygen. It regulates its metabolism, produces water and CO2. So that is the important macronutrients. So let's discuss a bit about micronutrients. So these are nutrients absorbed in smaller quantities. Micronutrients are also essential in each of the phases of your plant growth. So it doesn't need to be there on early stages, but um, you will see on this diagram which micronutrients are absorbed during each of its phase, from germination to the vegetative to flowering and to fruiting stage. So if you want to know a bit more about that growth cycle, you can go to our LifePlantz YouTube channel and watch that webinar. So iron, or in the periodic table Fe. So iron promotes formation of chlorophyll, right? See, so even though it's small quantities being absorbed, so it helps promotes chlorophyll formation. So when you produce more chlorophyll, your plants looks greener. So it photosynthesizes well. And acts as an oxygen carrier in respiration and photosynthesis, right? So next is zinc. So zinc activates, or it's a component of several enzymes. So it affects many metabolic processes. So metabolic processes is how plants converts glucose enzymes to amino acids, proteins. So that is a metabolic process. So it helps activates that. So very important during the early phases. So manganese, so it regulates carbohydrate metabolism and enzyme maintenance. Yep. So I believe manganese has the same effect on our human body on regulating these hormones for our growth. Not only growth, if we're grown up already, then it just regulates our bodily hormones just to balance our health. See, even plants uses manganese to regulate their metabolism. And boron. So boron synthesizes sugars. So it produces structural integrity of the cell wall. So it aids, it then aids for the root and flower and fruit development. Right? So that you will see boron on the later stages from the vegetative, but not on the germination stage, the very early stage of the plant. So we're not going to discuss all the micronutrients. We're just going to highlight these four because for me, these four is the important ones. Okay. So before we go on mixing our nutrient solution, we need to know what's in our water. So if I get water in my faucet, I drink it. So at least we know what we're drinking. So this is a 2020 analysis of PUB's new water quality. So you will see what are the components of that water that you've been drinking, right? So there is on the chemical properties, you will see ammonia, aluminum, barium, boron, so on and so forth in very, very small quantities, less than 1 milligram per liter, less than zero point 0.1. So it's very small quantities. So as you we all know that UV water is a combination of rainwater runoff and sewage, treated sewage, filtered and then delivered to our houses via pipes, right? So it has very, very little mineral content. That's why it's very soft. So if I tell soft, what's soft and what's hard? So if it's a very low mineral content, so when you notice your coffee makers, your percolators, uh, if it if you see a lot of deposits, white deposits forming, then your water is very hard because there's a lot of calcium mineral on your water. So that means it's a hard water. So that's why you need to descale coffee makers, percolators. But in our case, we're very lucky that our water is very clean. So the tap water in Singapore is a pH of about 7 to 8 and an EC of 0.25 millisiemens per centimeter. So the pH is between the neutral 7 to alkaline water. So remember that if we're doing our nutrient solution needs to be at a pH of 5 to 6, 6.5 for the nutrients to be absorbed. So it's actually acids on your nutrient solution that brings down that pH level. So rainwater, good. So rainwater typically is acidic, 5 to 6 pH. So this is due to sulfuric acid, nitric acid, hydrochloric acid, every kind of acid that you can think of. This is due to pollution, mostly. So it's getting more and more acidic. So this value of 5 to 6 rainwater is as of the moment. So we have been seeing that there's a lot of rain lately. So this is measured from our current rain. So it's between 5 to 6. So rainwater is very good in for your nutrient solution because the pH level is already on the value that you want it to be. So stream and well water. So this is water that has seeped in from the ground and that's why I call it groundwater. So in other countries, they have faucets from groundwater. So they pump water out from those deposits. So there's a lot of calcium and magnesium. So that's why it's considered very hard. So when you use that to wash your clothes will turn yellow. So don't use well water or groundwater in washing your clothes. So, however, on the other hand, tap water has chloramine. So it's chlorine of very small amounts just to kill bacteria, E. coli, those bacteria that can be transported through water. So this chloramine usually evaporates once you put it on your cup or a glass of water. So after 24 hours, this chloramine evaporates. Chloramine doesn't harm our body, though it does harm plants and other life forms. Okay, so now we go to the nutrient solution mix everybody's waiting for. So first is you need to choose your nutrient solution. So for the OTH kit, I believe that it came with a with a nutrient solution. So this nutrient solution comes in A and B, two parts. So it's either powder, water soluble powder, or a solution. So why is it separate? Because we need to separate three types of elements or nutrients in this case. So solution E has the nitrates and the calcium. Solution B has the phosphates and the sulfates. So because when you mix these two together, so it there's a chance that it will become insoluble in water because it will crystallize immediately, right? So that's why it's separate. Mm. So, yep, I'm still thinking, yep, what kind? Do I need hydrogen, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium? Yep. So the correct way is on mixing your nutrient A and B is dilute it in water. So solution A, dilute it on the water. So don't mix it like I have a measuring cup. I put A, put B. Don't do that, right? Because of the same reaction that will happen. So if you're not fast enough on like if you spend like 5-10 minutes, you put on your measuring cup and then somebody called you, okay, 10 minutes, it's all you will already see deposits, calcium nitrate deposits on your solution. So put it on water, dilute it, part A. Then part B, put it on the same solution. So that's how you properly mix a nutrient solution. Mhm. So you, typically 10 ml, if it's a liquid form, 10 ml of each part will make 1 liter. So you need to check on the label of your nutrient solution. So if it doesn't have a label, you need to call the manufacturer. So how to mix it, how much? Do I put it all or do I put 10 ml, 1 ml? But I have seen that normally this A and B, if it's a solution, it's 10 ml produces 1 liter. So for water soluble powder, 1 gram will usually make 1 liter. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's continue a bit about that nutrient solution mix. So this is what you normally see on your label. So what is the guaranteed minimum analysis or a guaranteed analysis of your nutrient solution? So you will see percentage, nitrate, nitrogen, yeah, soluble phosphorus, soluble potassium, calcium, etc. Right? So these are percentages. So if you, I, I believe that most of us are planting green leafy vegetables on our hydroponic kits, right? So if you want a flowering, if you're planting a flowering type, fruiting type, then definitely you will need more of your soluble potassium and soluble phosphorus at the later stage. Right? Okay. So topping up. So how do we top up? Let's say I already have, I mixed it, I produced 1 liter for 10 ml. I've been running it on my system. I've been germinating seeds separately. I'm very anxious on putting it on my system. So now I have these germinated plants. I put it on my system. Then after 2 weeks or 1 week, the water level goes down. So it will go down either through evaporation or plants absorbing the nutrient solution. So when that happens, measure your pH and EC. So what happened? It could be only evaporation. So if it's only evaporation, meaning you will see your EC going up because it's the same nutrient levels. It's just your water getting evaporated, right? Also check your pH. pH normally doesn't change even on a evaporation, but you have your test the meter. So use it regularly. Yeah. So to top up, so it's the same. Dilute solution A, solution B, and uh, slowly dose it to your system. Don't put it all at the same time. So put a little, then measure your EC. So the EC level depends on what plant, but normally, if you see on the label of your nutrient solutions, it will tell you to stop, or your 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 dose is enough if you have 1.4 to 1.5 millisiemens per centimeter. So that's why it's very handy to have an easy test meter as well. If you are uh, if you are doing hydroponics. Oops. All right. So that's topping up. So let's say I have run out of nutrient solution, right? So what should I do? What should I do now? All right. So, yeah. So get your lab gowns and your test tubes. Yeah, it's experiment time. So some some things to avoid. So do not use soil fertilizers on your hydroponic kits, on your solution. Normally, we'll try to like grind it until it's powder. No, those are normally not water soluble. So even though you see it has um, it's gone your water, you have mixed it, so you see, oh, it's very clear. Normally, those are not water soluble. So I suggest you to avoid those pellet type soil fertilizers or the slow release fertilizers. So there are another variant of soil fertilizers called controlled release. So not slow release, controlled release fertilizers, CRFs. So CRFs are normally water soluble. So water soluble meaning you can use it on your hydroponic kits. So if you have a water soluble controlled release fertilizer, use it. Uh, Multivitamin tablets. This is another one that keeps on popping up as a question. Can I use my vitamins? Because I have this Centrum which has all the nutrients or the vitamins that the plant will need from A to zinc. No, no. Um, Multivitamins are intended to be used or consumed by humans. So those vitamins are synthesized only by our liver. So once you drink your vitamins, our bile actually synthesizes and allows vitamins to be absorbed. So unfortunately, plants doesn't have a bile. So don't use multivitamins, right? Compost tea. So I'm not sure if anybody has heard about this. So if you already know how to compost, so I suggest you do your compost tea. Don't drink it. It's for your plants. It's very nice for your plants, trust me. But there is a number of things that we need to consider before doing that. So what is a compost tea and how is it made? So compost tea is the act of growing beneficial microbes using diverse food, mineral sources within aerated water, right? So you already have a compost. So how to make tea? Put it on a tea bag, right? So what's made of? What is made of? So it's about, let's say, 2 cups of fully finished organic compost. So if you're doing your compost fully finished organic compost, meaning that it's ready to be used for plants, soil based. So also fully finished organic compost can be used as a compost tea to use on a hydroponic system. So there's also 1 tablespoon of blackstrap molasses. You can buy this at any store, fair price here in Singapore. And kelp. Kelp is a form of seaweed. So kelp or seaweed. So dried ones, not those treated ones with a lot of salt. So this is just the plain dried kelp or seaweed. So see, 2 cups of that, 1 tablespoon of this, and 1 strand of kelp will usually make 5 liters of compost tea. Very nice. So this is how it's made. So instead of tea bags, because it is much more, a lot more ingredients. So I suggest you use a nylon stocking or a sock, your socks. So used socks is a good source of nutrients. So after you're jogging, if you see your socks already like, it's already spoiled, use it for your compost tea to filter out those organic compost, molasses, and seaweeds. So it needs to be soaked in water and it needs to be aerated. So why does it need to be aerated? So this is a because what we're doing is we're culturing beneficial microbes, right? So beneficial microbes. So what's an example of a non-beneficial microbe? So a non-beneficial microbe you will see is E. coli. So E. coli is very uh, aggressive on low oxygen water. So it populates really fast. So that's why we aerate it, because we want those aerobic and anaerobic microbes that we need for our nutrient solution. So it's not the microbes that actually gets absorbed by the plants. So this microbes, it has a symbiotic relationship with the roots. So it attaches to the roots and it helps it to absorb nutrients faster from your fully finished organic compost. So let it soak for 24 hours. So more than 24 hours, you might end up culturing E. coli. So leave it to 24 hours. 120. So this is a ratio. So a ratio of dilution. So as a rule of thumb, if you're still using your nutrient solution, if you want to augment, if you want to improve the base is the water that we use, right? So instead of normal water, you can use this compost tea along with your nutrient solution. You can use your compost tea if you're if you don't have any nutrient solution anymore. You can use it on its own if needed. So a couple of things to take note about compost tea. It fluctuates pH and EC, so you need to regularly measure it, just like your normal nutrient solution. And since compost tea contains organic materials, so it's also a vector for fungus and bacteria due to the live cultures of decomposition process. So if your concoction has a really bad smell from your socks, no, just joking, from it's not an earth smell. If you smell soil, that's the earth, that's the smell of earth. So once you have a chance, grab some soil, just smell it. So that you know the smell of earth. So if it smells rotten, it's rotten. So don't use that compost tea. So even though it's can be prepared, so care must be taken on using compost tea. Mhm. So only if you like, if you're adventurous enough to put on your lab gowns, and do a lot of testing. But I suggest you try it out. Mm. Okay, so compost tea, only use it on recirculated systems. Remember, there's live culture or beneficial microbes on it. So we want that to be constantly aerated by water recirculation or air stones. So that's perfect for NFT or your OTH kits has recirculated, so it's fine. But BWC, deep water culture, doesn't have any pumps. Sometimes it doesn't have air stones, so it's called Kratky system. So don't use this because that's stagnant water. So your beneficial microbes will eventually die and become E. coli. Okay, so we mixed, we topped up, we made our own concoction. So now let's discuss a bit about to do or not to do before we conclude the session. So again, do not use your full strength nutrient solution during germination. 100% only during the vegetative stage. Watch our growth cycle to learn more about the stages. Measure your water temperature on your main reservoir. So if you have an NFT system by layers, don't measure from the layers, measure from the main reservoir. Even your pH and EC, you measure from the main reservoir, not from the layers. So the temperature should be around 18 to 27 degrees Celsius. 27 degrees Celsius, if you have a big reservoir, 5 liters or more, it's very easy to regulate. So you'll get 27 degrees, no problem. However, when you're under the sun on a very hot day, humid day, so this can go up to like 30 degrees. So that's very bad if it goes up very hot for prolonged times. So one factor is there are pumps, water pumps on our hydroponic systems, which generates heat. So when this generates heat, it like contributes heat exponentially until it will not boil the water, but the normal temperature for that will be about 32 degrees your water. So just be careful and check your water temperature regularly. Yep, pH, EC from the main reservoir. So some pointers. So if you don't have any choice, insulate your main reservoir to help regulate the temperature. So insulate meaning put some like insulation material. So if you go Daiso, you will see those um, 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 like food carriers, which has a silver lining on it. silver material. So that's and a foam inside. So that's a insulator, a good insulator. So this is an example. So don't do this on your setup. It will look like something from the future. So only the main reservoir, not the whole system. Otherwise, it look like a gift, something that like fell from space. Yep. If your pH or EC sways off too much, check on your water level. Yeah. So if there's a lot of water loss, so make sure that there's no leak on your system and make sure that it's only evaporation. So those in small intervals, don't put a lot of nutrients back. So small intervals meaning not 1 ml, not the syringe type. Just put in like 500 ml until you reach your 5 liters. So the OTH kit is about 5 liters, the main reservoir. So make sure that you arrive at the correct parameter. So it takes time for these solutions to like get dissolved and circulate on the system. So be patient. So leave it running for 10 minutes, then measure. So if you see the EC is still low, put some more until you arrive at that EC. Yep, again, regularly measure. So there's a lot of maintenance work to be done for hydroponics. So it's just like your normal soil-based farming. So the amount of work or maintenance is almost the same. So when mixing different nutrient solutions, so because sometimes you will get nutrient solutions from other manufacturers, from Lazada, from Shopee, so you'll get different, not the one that came from with your kit. So it's totally fine. So just make sure that when you're mixing this, check on the EC, check on your EC levels. So EC meter is very handy to have. All right. So I guess that goes to our end of the session. So I believe that there will be some questions. So let's get it rolling.
Okay, thank you, Chris. So some quick questions from the chat. Nutrients. Must we use different nutrients for hydroponics versus soil-based plants?
Yeah. Don't use your soil-based fertilizers on your hydroponics and vice versa. So don't use your water from your hydroponics to your plants, right? So though I though it if you dilute it further, then you can put it on your plants. But reuse, meaning if you will dispose of your old reservoir water, it might have pathogen, fungi, bacteria already. So when you put it on your plants, you're just transferring the bacteria to your plants. So I suggest not putting those used nutrient solutions to your soil based. So just use them to flush your toilet, right? So yeah, that's it.
Okay, so don't reuse nutrient solution from the hydroponic system that is already used before. Okay. Is rainwater, Devi is asking, is rainwater good for hydroponic systems too?
Yeah, rainwater. It has a very acidic pH, though it will be regulated by your nutrient solution. So meaning if it's very low, like 4, but I doubt it will be 4. That's already acidic. That's lemon already, a lemon acidic level 4. So you can use rainwater to prepare your nutrient solution. You can also use rainwater just in case you want to do the compost tea, which we have discussed in a unlikely event that you have no nutrient solution, and your plants are already very thirsty. So you can use your compost tea rainwater.
There's something that I like to offer that I just learned from NParks. Interesting fact about rainwater in Singapore, especially after a thunderstorm. So when there is lightning in the air, apparently it breaks up the nitrogen molecules and allows nitrogen to be washed down into the soil by the rainwater. So after a lightning storm or during a lightning storm, the rainwater actually contains a lot of nitrogen, which is excellent for leafy green vegetables. So that's an incentive for collecting rainwater and reusing. Very sustainable too.
Yeah. That's a good suggestion. But be careful when harvesting rainwater, especially when there's thunder. We don't want to be struck by lightning.
Yes. Be careful and clever about it. Okay, next question. Eugene is asking, is it okay to have all in one nutrient solution rather than A and B for convenience? Because okay, there is the A and B, which is the most common. There is also the A, B, C, and there's also the all in one. So of course, all in one is the most convenient, but are there any cons in using all in one solution?
Yeah. So all-in-one solution usually are the ones that are organic. Yeah. So it's made from, like I mentioned, compost teas. It's made from fish emulsion. So those are usually organic, and it doesn't react unlike non-organic A and B solutions. So an A and B solution is not organic, definitely, because it is dosing chemicals or elements on its purest form. So meaning that's why you need to separate the calcium, the nitrates from your phosphorus to your sulfates. If you mix it together, it will react. So that's why it's A and B is usually non-organic, and your all-in-one are organic.
So for those all-in-one solutions that are not organic, we should probably check whether there are deposits or precipitation in the bottle, right? It might not be
Yeah,
good.
because sometimes if you mix it together, like if let's say I want to sell a nutrient solution, so I already mix it together and I sell it 1 liter, 1 liter, 1 liter, right? So remember that once you mix it together, the reactions is for those elements is happening already. So if you just leave it stagnant, then some of the elements will become insoluble. So you will see like solid deposits on it already. So um, if you're buying all-in-one solutions, just check on it. If it has deposits already, salt deposits or solid deposits, meaning it might not be useful already. So
Okay. All right. So Serena, next question from Serena. She has tried the all-in-one organic hydroponic solution. She followed the dosage instructions, but the EC reading is very low, in the region of 100 to 200 plus, about 10 times lower than expected. Does that mean that the solution is not effective, or should she just continue to add more of the concentrate to the solution to up the EC?
yeah. So let's check on the meter that you're using. Make sure that it's the correct units. Because if it's ppm, sometimes your EC meter comes in conduction factor. So if it's conduction factor, it's a different reading. So if it's ppm, it's a different reading. So we're covering the unit milli Siemens per centimeter. So EC meters measure the amounts of salts. So this particular nutrients are considered salts. So once you put it in, your N, your P, your K, your calcium, your magnesium, your sulfur, so definitely there are salt deposits already on your water, which will increase the EC. So double check on the label of the all-in-one that you bought. So just make sure that it's mentioned there that the EC is already at this level, or if not, then check your meter. Make sure that the units are the same as what's on the label.
And also to make sure that the meter is calibrated correctly, right?
Yes, correct. Since these are electrical devices, so it needs to be calibrated regularly. So, yep, correct.
Okay. So NM is asking how to add boron to the solution, just specifically just boron. But they've got to be sure that it is boron that is lacking in the solution. How do you know that it is boron that?
So if your plants are not flowering, not fruiting, because normally borons will be for your flowering and fruiting. So we see that it's not really flowering or fruiting. It's trying to produce flowers, but it doesn't mature. You may lack boron. So boron is produced from decaying matter. So don't put anything decaying and harvest that just to get boron. So normally, if you have any organic matter, that's why on our compost tea, I mentioned like seaweed, kelp. So it's a very good source of boron, right? So if you don't have compost, just make use of your kelp or your seaweed. It will have boron included on your when you soak it in water.
Okay. Or can we buy the seaweed fertilizer, liquid seaweed fertilizer from the nursery and add that in?
Better.
Okay.
If you find those extract, the better. But if you just pass by your provision shop, just buy it from the provision shop. Just soak it in water overnight, then get the water and just you can put it on your plants. No problem. You can even drink it.
Okay. Okay, Terry asked, since there are many suppliers of nutrient solution, both online and retail, all claiming theirs is the best in the market, what are the most important criteria when choosing nutrient solution?
Yeah, so from the start, we mentioned that there's no particular formula for nutrient solutions. Though we need to be certain of what are we growing. So if we're growing green leafy vegetables, then we're only concerned about the nitrogen and the phosphorus content of our nutrient solution. So now if you go on maturing your plants further to flower, to blossom, and to produce fruits, then you will need the rest of the trace materials, trace elements. So if you check on their label, you will see the guaranteed analysis. So how many percentage? So depends on what plant you're actually trying to grow. So there's no exact or there's no formula. So any or almost all of those producers of these nutrient solutions have different percentages on it.
Okay. So perhaps if Terry, if you want to, if there's any specific plant or any specific nutrient solution that you are considering, perhaps you can take a picture and post it in the Facebook group, and then maybe we can have a look and see and offer some advice, particular advice pertaining to the particular plant that you're trying to grow or any particular nutrient solution that you're considering. Eugene, you are asking which all-in-one nutrient solution recommended for OTH hydroponics kit. We don't have any particular one that's recommended, although Tony has used one all-in-one solution, Tony from OTH, the Star Gardener, and he likes to use that because it's convenient. But I don't know where he gets it from. What you can do actually is come to our Green Heart to volunteer and then ask it, Tony, what is that you're using? So
Yeah.
officially, I don't have anything to recommend from OTH.
Yeah. So if you manage to see any of your neighbors having aquariums, so if they're changing water, go ask her, can I collect this water? So you can use that.
Water from fish aquarium is good too, right?
Yeah.
It's really good for leafy greens.
Mm.
Okay. Terry asked, is it good to mix nutrient solution and use it on the spot, or better to pre-mix in a dedicated container, let it stand overnight to settle, and use it later?
No, it's on the spot, on the reservoir. So you dilute it on your reservoir and recirculate it as soon as possible.
So, but the important thing is not to mix A and B directly, but mix A into the reservoir and then B into the reservoir, right?
Yep.
That can use immediately. Okay. Terry also asked, by pre-mixing nutrient solution and using it over a few days, will the quality deteriorate over time? Can he do that? Can he pre-mix and keep it aside and then use it over time?
I wouldn't suggest you to do that. So you mix your A and B together when you're ready to use it, because these elements react quite quickly, and it needs to be recirculated as soon as possible.
Okay. So it's not just the mixing, is that they need to get into the system and keep moving. If it's kept in the bottle for long, it will also, it's not good. Okay. Eugene asked, will nutrient reduce or increase pH level?
So nutrient solutions decrease your pH. It decreases your pH. So if you might have a question, what if I use rainwater? It's already low pH. So when I put my nutrient solution, does it further lower down my pH? Yes, that is a possibility that will happen. Yep. Because normally these nutrient solutions we use for our tap water, which is about 6 to 7. So when you're using your rainwater, just make sure that your pH is not very low. So normally it will be in the range of 6. So when you put your nutrient solution, it will become 5.5 or even 5, which is just perfect for your plants.
Okay, so so that means that if you're a beginner, it's good to just use tap water. But if you are getting your hands dirty and having a lot of experience with hydroponics, can branch into using rainwater to mix your nutrient solution.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions? That's the last question already on the chat group. Any other last minute questions? Okay, if no, then that's it for today. Are we having another webinar next week or the week after next?
So the week after the next, so next Friday there wouldn't be any session, so it will be the following week, right? So we will publish the topic by Monday, so broadcast to the people on the Facebook group. Emails.
Do we want to have a poll to see if there are any specific topics that anyone wants us to get into in the week after?
Yeah, we can do a poll since we have time. We have 2 weeks, so we can do a poll. So that's so that the attendees have a chance to suggest what they really want to learn.
Okay, thank you, Chris. All right, so now you know that Chris is letting you tell him what you want to learn. So get on Facebook, the group, and tell us what you want to learn, okay? All right, Kel. Hi, Kel. You have been.
Hey, hello. Hi. The first thing I want to know from Chris is what socks do you use?
My jogging socks.
Yeah, you must jog in it, right?
With all the good organic nutrients.
Okay, super organic. Well, I'm gonna start off with I hope everyone is okay, especially with this morning's flood in Tampines, Pasir Ris area. I realized that luckily not a lot of residential area. It's the IKEA area, but it was too early in the morning. I guess we are all still asleep. I hope everybody is fine. So it always come to the part where we're gonna do the lucky draw. I mean, the best part for me is not the lucky draw. I mean, I don't get to draw myself. The best part for me is when I do the delivery and seeing you all. So I learned a lot. Aziza, are you here? I had a fun time.
Yes,
Nai Ming, I saw your plants. You don't need boron. Your plants, your flowers are all growing so well. Okay, you don't need boron. They're doing perfect. So I also learned something from Aziza today. I guess you are here, Aziza.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, good to see you. Good to see you. So if I mean from the group, if there's anything you all want to chat, you all can actually click on the button, raise your hand. You can actually come in. So I learned about Ajinomoto today. MSG. MSG is a very good mix into our nutrient. So I learned that. So I went to study on it. It has all the good nitrogen, potassium, ammonium inside. It has very good things that we need for fertilizer. So I learned that and I went to study on it. So it's very good sharing. So I really enjoy that. But there's also a shortfall to Ajinomoto. I also learned this from Aziza. Well, the shortfall is it's very malu when you buy Ajinomoto. That's why she told me. It's like people say, well, you buy Ajinomoto, that means your cooking not good. So that's the shortfall I also learned today.
So you use Ajinomoto in the liquid nutrient or for soil, or put it in the soil?
Aziza, are you here?
I'm here.
You want to share with us?
How do you use the Ajinomoto?
I'm using it inside the soil. I put some inside the soil, and I do spraying also in the water.
So you dissolve the Ajinomoto in the water and you use to water your plants?
Yeah, I spray.
Okay. Do you use it in
the stem and also the soil, the top part of the soil?
Do you use it in hydroponics?
No. Because I'm new with hydroponics, so I wouldn't dare to try it.
Chris, try it.
Yeah, we will do some tests using Ajinomoto. It's, I think, monosodium glutamate or something like that. Yep, MSG.
Yep, MSG.
Thank you, Aziza.
Thank you.
Thank you. So this part I really enjoyed all. So am I back? I really enjoyed this delivery of the plants to you. I still owe you, Jeannie. Jeannie, are you still here? I still owe you because I realized you're not in Tampines when I was doing a delivery. So I didn't plan it in the route, but your plant will get to you soon. Join the Facebook group. So I've actually done another group buy for the home kit. I mean, a lot of people have been writing in about getting the hydroponic set OTH kit. So you can actually you can buy this. So actually limited to 10 sets only. So it take us some time to actually build this. So that's why it's a limitation where a better price is offered to the community group. And also learned something from Aziza today that if you have the hydroponic set at home, do remember to use the lights. Let me just turn it on. So can you see on my cam? Yeah, do remember to use the lights if you have been using it indoor. Okay, so it's a bit bright, so I'll turn it off again. So I believe some of the sets do not come with light. So if you have put it indoor and you may have missed out on the light, especially like rainy day today, you do not get enough sunlight. So do remember that if you are using the OTH hydroponic kit. Yeah. So that's it today. I'm going to still do the same. I'm going to draw 3 lucky winners. Is the cam back on me? Yes, okay. So some people ask me, can I still win again? Of course, the moment you register, your name is here. So for those who did not register, I mean, too bad, your name is not here. So I'll pick 3. Today we are giving away the start kit. So you may question me, I already have 1. Why would I need another one? So in fact, I do a lot of germination. So in fact, I have like about 5 kit for me to germinate. So I use it for different seeds. Yeah. So
And you can connect it together. You can show them.
oh yeah, you can actually join this up together. So there's actually joints here. So you can stack in a row of 3, a row of 5, a row of 6. Yeah. Okay, I have Kara. Congrats, Kara. Can you see?
Yes.
Kara. Okay, Kara, congrats. Kara Peng. Congrats. We'll send you a kit soon. And Jeannie, I'll send you a kit soon. Okay, second winner for today. Jeannie, again. Jeannie, I owe you 2 kits now. We owe you 2 kits.
Thank you so much.
Congrats, Jeannie.
Thank you.
And the third winner for the day. Hi, Jeannie. Hello.
Hi, Cal.
Hello.
Hi.
I'll come to Bishan soon.
Okay.
And third winner for today, Kosum Atia. Kosum Atia, congrats. So I'll be writing to you guys soon for your address details. I don't need Jeannie's anymore, so I know I owe Jeannie 2 sets. Yep. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Back
everyone.
to you.
For those who have already received the kits and are using them to grow, please do post your pictures on the Facebook group.
Nice.
Okay, thank you for staying through today's webinar, and have a good weekend. Happy belated National Day weekend.